Okay, let's go into I don't wanna, but I'm gonna. This news story caught my eye. A Georgia man arrested for allegedly breeding and training over 100 pit bulls for dog fighting. Police in Georgia have arrested a man for allegedly breeding and training 106 pit bulls for dog fighting, according to a news release. Vincent Lamarck Burrell, 55, was arrested by the Paulding County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday at his home about 30 miles from Atlanta after a long investigation for his alleged role in a massive dog fighting operation. Detectives found unvaccinated pit bulls at the suspect's home that were left outside for days on end and tied to trees or metal stumps in the ground using large and extremely heavy logging chains and thick collars. Some of the pit bulls were emaciated, while others were strong and aggressive towards other dogs, according to police. There were also dogs in the suspect's basement where the presence and strong smell of excrement and urine made authorities have to wear protective equipment to enter the home. Conditions where the dogs were being housed both inside and on the exterior of the property were not fit for humans, much less dogs, the sheriff's office said in a statement. The dogs were taken by authorities, of course, to various rescue facilities. Burrell was arrested without incident and charged with felony counts of cruelty to animals and dog fighting. He remains at the Paulding County Jail, where he's being held without bond. Wow. Who knew dog fighting operations were still a thing? I didn't think people did that anymore. Does this guy have a secret bunker where street fighting, a fight club bunker too, or something like that? Look, I love dogs. I really, really do. Pit bulls get a bad rap for being aggressive, but I've met some very lovable pit bulls. I'm glad this guy's behind bars. The unfortunate thing is, a lot of these dogs will be put to sleep over this idiot's doing. But it struck me strange that dog fighting operations are still a thing. I concluded that this was something that happened more back in the 80s, the early 90s or something. I used to remember guys in my younger days as a young warthog walking up and down the street of the Matthew Henson projects with what looked to be like a King Kong dog on a collar. Matter of fact, the dog was actually never on a collar. It was like a heavy ass chain around the dog's neck. And these guys, often gang associated, would have these massive pit bulls on chains walking down the street of the projects. The guy wasn't walking the dog, though. The dog was walking him. I mean, he'd be leaning all back, trying to control the dog, And it was always some puny dude, some puny gangbanger that was 100 pounds with his saggy pants hanging off his cheeks and bandana hanging out of his back pocket. He had been arrested so many times that he couldn't have a gun, so he had a roided up pit bull. They always had a code word to make the dog attack too. I remember being in the 4th grade and this kid that was at the school that I went to, who everyone knew his brother was part of a gang, telling us that his big brother says popsicle to his pit bull, and his pit bull would kill everyone near it. It scared the crap out of me as a little fat 4th grader. And then come to think of it, I remember being at my Grandma Blaze's house, God rest her beautiful soul, and sitting outside on the stoop of her project home, apartment, or whatever you want to call it, because I had gotten kicked out of the house for being in grown folks' mouths. I don't know if you know what that means, but that means when a child is sitting and attentively listening to adults talking about things that maybe children shouldn't hear. So I got kicked out. So I was out there sitting on the stoop watching the other kids play, I didn't do physical fun as a young warthog either. And two 100-pound dudes come walking up the street on opposite sides of the street, and they were walking towards each other on opposite sides of the street. They both had pit bulls on chains, 100-pound dudes, you know what I mean? And as they approached each other, even though they were on opposite sides of the street, what happens when an aggressive dog sees another aggressive dog? They want that smoke. They want that smoke. And of course, as like you would expect, the dogs started barking at each other, and then the two 100-pound gangbangers started struggling to hold the dogs back. I mean, you got a 100-pound gangbanger trying to hold back a 200-pound, nothing but muscle dog with teeth and slobber. Well, that day the dogs won the struggle battle and got loose from the weak-willed guys and went after each other in the middle of Sherman Avenue at my grandmother's house in Matthew Henson Projects, barking, yelping, and the two guys that were walking the dogs couldn't run after the dogs to get the chain because their pants were so damn far. All they could do was just like waddle to the doggy bloodbath. If my memory serves me right, one of my aunts heard the commotion going outside and ran outside and grabbed the neighbor's water hose and started spraying the dogs down. I guess that's what you did when dogs started fighting, that you wet them down. I wasn't about, to get in the middle of that. I was watching through the window by this time, like a good little bitch that I was. Everybody around me were skin and bones. If them dogs were hungry, they were going to come in for the chubby chocolate kid first that couldn't run. I see it all the time on TikTok, though. We don't deserve dogs. They are the most loyal animal on the planet, and some people just take advantage of that. I miss having a dog. I really do. But because I care so much about dogs, I don't have one because of my work schedule and my responsibilities. Dogs need love and attention, and knowing that I can't provide that adequately, I choose not to have one. I would love to have one, though, once again. Unlike this idiot that chose to breed and train these precious pit bulls for sport. Disgusting. I hope he spends the rest of his life behind bars. Actually, better yet, let's put him on house arrest and chain him up to a tree in his own backyard, attached to a collar of heavy logging chain, like he did those dogs. There's an idea. No, I mean, the guy's probably black, and then now I'm going to get a whole lot of hate mail. All right. In other news, Nick Cannon's penis cost him millions of dollars a year in child support. Duh. Look, amidst news that Nick Cannon's brood is continuing to expand, with the TV host announcing Alyssa Scott is pregnant with his soon-to-be 12th child, the 42-year-old father is talking about the hefty child support bill he pays on an annual basis. A report from The Sun, take that for what it's worth, claimed that Nick nearly pays $3 million a year in child support. However, the musician-actor told the Neighborhood Talk that the actual number is much larger. I definitely spend a lot more than that on my children annually, Cannon said. On last Saturday, Cannon announced the birth of his 11th child and daughter, Zeppelin Cannon, with Abby De La Rosa. He wrote in part on his Instagram to De La Rosa and his new baby girl, "You are the definition of steadfast and virtuous, and it is my continued duty to bring you and our children, our continued duty to make you and our children feel valued and protected every single day. Beautiful Zeppelin, a.k.a. BZC, a.k.a. Busy Bee. Get ready, because the world is yours. Daddy loves you." The couple is already parents to Zion and Zillion. Cannon also shares twins, Monroe and Moroccan, with ex-wife Mariah Carey. Cannon has 3 children with Brittany Bell, Golden, Powerful, and Rise. He welcomed his first child, Onyx, with Lanisha Cole in September, and Legendary Love with Bree Tessie. Nick Cannon's cannon must be made of gold. Dude, what are you doing, Nick? That love don't cost a thing, and drumline money gonna dry up at some point, brother. Dude, stop screwing. Find something else to do with your evenings. I mean, seriously, read a book, pick a hobby, get snipped. Sure, you got the means now, Nick, but like I mentioned about the holidays, man, these kids grow up. What kind of life are they going to live? The stress of having a famous parents is going to take its toll. There ain't enough money in the world to save a kid from that. Just look at Willow and Jada. Nick, this isn't helping anyone, my friend. This is not helping anyone. You are perpetuating the black stereotype that I have joked about for years. Black men thinking they can make babies, and just because you stroke a check every month, you're doing your part. No, man, it takes more than that, more than just a check to raise a kid. So if you have 12 kids from multiple women, there ain't no way in hell those kids gonna be raised right. Money cannot teach your child how to balance a checkbook or how to solve a math equation on their homework. Money cannot teach your child the value of loving everyone equally. Money cannot run alongside your child when they're learning how to ride a bike, Nick. Money cannot heal their first broken heart. Money cannot teach your son how to respect women. Nick Cannon, you are the black man stereotype personified, brother. You have created all these kids that will most assuredly grow up without you. Even if you were married to their mother, you're a celebrity, man. You travel. It would be hard to properly raise 1 or 2 children doing what you do. But your skinny big dick having ass and created 12 of them? And all these young black men who don't know any better are watching you and will mimic you because you are Nick Cannon. A 42-year-old really should know better, man. Here's an idea. Take a couple of thousands of your millions and snip your dick, Nick. You have successfully created a basketball team of future societal misfits. There is no way these undeserving children will have a full and balanced life. Not only because of your inability to father them, but because you're a celebrity, man. Nick, your celeb light at some point is going to dim. Those checks are going to dry up. What you gonna do then, brother? What you gonna do? Wait a minute, I know what you're gonna do. Complete the stereotype and let them finish raising themselves.